All right, what is up, everyone? Happy Monday. It is the day after the Super Bowl. So if you were, I guess, with majority of America and then with the Chiefs to win, well, you got it. So I'm actually a diehard Philly fan. So I didn't partake in the whole like burning down the city of Philadelphia or I guess New Orleans. But I did see the videos. Pretty wild stuff there. So I thought I'd take like almost a week off from making videos. It is flu cold season, so my voice is not 100%, but I also kind of just wanted to give it a little bit of a break from posting so many videos every week, even though some people, I guess, seem to enjoy that. So last night I was out for the Super Bowl party watching it, and we were out at a place, and the waiter actually ended up being a younger guy, and he has a 5th-gen 4Runner, and him and I got to talking about 4Runners, and I showed him my 4Runner, and he knew exactly what I was talking about when I said, the ultimate goal, I think what I want to do, kind of on the fence about it, I want to put a supercharger on this. He knew right away that I was talking about the Magnuson Supercharger. So that kind of cemented to my plan where I now have to put a supercharger on it, because I guess the hype a little bit talking to somebody else, even though they had a 5th-gen, nothing wrong with that. Real good looking 5th-gen. Kind of just cemented the hype to myself to go ahead and finish this thing off by adding the one piece it's missing. And that is a supercharger. Obviously, not a lot of people are going to do that with an overland build or a street daily driven. I guess if you want to call this an overland build, more of a street princess at this point. But it does get taken off road a little bit here and there. So as I have the hood popped here, when I was looking at like the pictures and stuff like that, so not a lot of stuff actually goes into this. So it's just the supercharger sits here. I guess it's a belt driven supercharger. I still don't know everything about the Toyota platform, but that's where so I don't know every accessory amount like I would for the Mustang that I would need to put a supercharger on it, like a Whipple. Magnuson does make blowers for the Coyote Mustang, or the Coyote platform, so I'm very familiar with Magnuson itself as being a supercharger company. So I know that they're good, and I believe, like I said in the previous video, that they are the only ones that make it. I don't know if they were the OE ones back in the day, for the 01 to 02 platform. I believe those were the years. It might have been actually 99 to when you could get the TRD supercharger option, because I know like far few in between came with that from the factory. Like I said, I believe it's a black 4Runner or green. I can't remember if it's dark green or black. 3rd gen as well. I think it's higher. It's definitely more of a overland build, I guess, specific to overlanding. And I believe it's a manual transmission 4Runner. But I remember talking to the owner of Ironwood, and he said that 4Runner has a lot done to it. I've seen it, never seen it actually like up close, but he has a supercharger on his. And the benefits of that, like I talked about that in the last video, it would give this thing, the power that it deserves. I know I've covered this and everybody else on a Toyota, video, whether it's a 4Runner or Tacoma or whatever have you, the newer 4Runners even, when you get the 3rd gen, you're getting reliability. That's what you're getting. You're getting a good-looking, rugged vehicle that stand the test of time for the past 20 years. They look great lifted. There's so many things you could do to these. They won't die unless the frame gets a lot of rust. And the good thing about that is it's like, body on chassis. So you can just take that off and put a new frame under it, and boom, there you go. So that's the benefit of that, at least, I guess. But when you break it all down, these are just good-looking vehicles that just, they do not give up. They keep going. You see them with 400,000 or 500,000 miles. They're hitting 250,000 miles, and that people always say, oh, that's breaking a Toyota in, And I'm not like trying to like boost an ego or something about, being at this platform or that I own a really nice 4Runner. That's just like when you look at like the early vehicles, like if you compare it to the Mustang that I have, the engine was still going. It blew a spark plug. The 4.6 was famous for that. So you do like a Healy coil kit and then you put a new one in. It kind of still never ran the same. The intake manifold, the plastic on it busted, so I had to put a new one on that. And the transmission went. Now I've seen, the 4.6 engines are very good engines. They were used in the Crown Vics, the cop cars, the Interceptors or whatever. Really good platform, good engine. But at the end of the day, you're gonna get, obviously you're gonna like get on that more. It's going to be a faster car at the time. But when you stack it up to something like this, you know, you see more issues with Ford vehicles during that time. And I call that the dark ages of Ford. I've talked about that in a video as well, comparing the Mustang that I have, like when I redid the interior last summer, or this previous summer. It's, you know, all the parts are just part bends parts. And the same with this, obviously. But looking at this, you know, the interior panels have been pulled off on and off multiple times. They've been put back, and yeah, they're cheap plastic clips, but none of them have broken, you know, per se. Like, I've taken it off. I've had Ironwood and Car Toys do a lot of stuff to this thing, and it goes back just fine. And when I've done it, when I've had people do things to the Mustang, and, you know, they just break. So it's just brittle plastic. And I get it. They're both used for different things. But it kind of just speaks for Ford at that point, for the 99 to 04, or 94 to 04, if you want to, you know, the whole atmosphere of like the round to the new edge, square, more body, aggressive look from the Explorer to the Taurus, you know, Mustang and F-150. It kind of just carries that same weight, you know. That's what you're getting with Ford during that era. And what you're getting with, you know, Toyota, it's really good quality stuff, even if it's still like a parts bin vehicle. So the reliability is here and stuff like that. So I trust the platform, and I trust the vehicle for having a supercharger on it and adding a little boost to it. You know, 6 to 8 pounds maybe. I believe that's what I read. But at the same time, it's not like going to cement this vehicle as like, you know, I'm going to take this thing drag racing or something like that. Not at all. This is a 4,000 pound vehicle, especially now with all the weight in it and then my fat ass in it. So, you know, it's over 4,000 pounds at least, with the entire skid plate stuff, and then the roof rack, and then the heavier, you know, wheel and tire combo setup and stuff. So, and the rock sliders. So it's all added weight. So there's no fuel economy here. So the supercharger might help with fuel economy. I don't know. But at the end of the day, it's going to give it, you know, at least, I'd say 60 to 80 more horsepower. It's going to be faster. Obviously, that's going to be better off the line, and it's going to merge with traffic much better. It's just going to be, I think overall what it's going to do is it's going to make the driving experience better for this vehicle. Not that it isn't, but it's going to, you know, more enjoyable, as I would say. So I think this is what we're going to do. This is the plan, is to put a supercharger on this thing, and I think it's going to pay off in the end. It's going to be really good. It's gonna, you know, Trump says it's beautiful. It's gonna be beautiful, right? So I've come this far, switching up some stuff on it, like the refresh I talked about doing with the headlights. I'll eventually do, but the wheel and tires, I did post the other wheel and tire setup for sale just to see what I would get. Did get a lot of attention, actually. I had it set for like $1,500. I think if somebody would have actually offered me $1,500, I would have probably sold it. The Toyo tire, AT3 tires, and then the wheels with it. Not these, the previous wheels. But I went ahead and pulled it off, and then I was like, nah, because I had people offer me 14, but those tires don't have a lot of miles on them, and the wheels are in excellent condition, and it's at least $2,200-$2,300, you know, worth of setup. So I at least try to get near as much as I could, near half, I guess. They're a little over half. So I'm gonna see, you know, sit on them for a little bit and see what happens, you know, what I come up with. But, you know, if I end up selling it, I'll just dump that money into the supercharger, help me get it quicker. So I did sell, cleaned up a little bit of the mess I have of car parts. A lot of this stuff is honestly for the Mustang, the K-member and all that, so I have all the parts for that. I got rid of the factory sport / limited wheels, had a guy come down. He said that he had a 3rd gen that he was redoing a lot of the stuff on, but he wanted to keep it the factory look, and his wheels were just awful looking. He had the same wheels, so he wanted them. So $100 got him out of my head or hair. So this is where we're at with it. So, you know, supercharger, I think all the, you know, aesthetics, I think it's pleasing. I think we're done with that, honestly. There's nothing really else to do. The interior to the exterior of the vehicle, like I said, just get it repainted. That's just going to make it look, you know, that much better, newer. But at the end of the day, you know, with the fresh paint job, the trim that's, you know, peeling right here, that kind of just common issue for these. And then taking off the badges just makes it look cleaner. I think that's the only other thing. So other than that, you know, everything else is good with this thing. So I'm going to see in the next month or so what happens, and trying to see what deals or whatever I can track down and get the best deal out there for a Magnuson Supercharger. But first, I want to talk to, Ironwood or whatever to see what what else I need accessory-wise or support, I guess, for the 4Runner if I have to get it tuned and all that stuff. So I don't want to go into this thing blindly like I haven't at least done yet so far. So done all my research from the lift kit to every part that I've purchased for this vehicle. So I want to keep doing the same, especially with something so vital to the to the engine, like the drivetrain at least. So I think it's something exciting to look forward to. So I'm going to stop rambling. I'm going to get going. So I'll catch you guys in the next video. I'll try to pump out a couple more videos this week, or can at least do 2 a week from here on out instead of a bunch of them. So I'll catch y'all later. You have a good one.